Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and good news, we got the rear end under my truck, fully together, brakes adjusted, bled. I've got one more thing to do to the rear end, and that's put the sway bar in. I've already got the supports that goes down from the frame to the sway bar, and I haven't cleaned them parts up yet. That's next. But I wanted to show you guys that we did get it in, and show you the plans for the frame supports, which I still haven't really got a clue as to how I'm going to do this yet. There's so many different things that's in the way, and tools that I don't have that would be nice to make this go a little smoother. What I need is a big disc, cutting disc for my grinder, and I'm on my last one, and it's about that big around now, but I need a bigger one, a new one, so that we can cut some stuff out, and I'll show you here what I'm talking about. Right here they put an L channel or a C channel in here, and then there's a plate on the back side of it, as you can see right there, and this needs to actually be cut in between here because they welded the hole shut that the original brace went to. So basically I have to get me a disc and cut this right across there, because there's a weld across it, and go all the way back to where all that's cut out, and then I got to take the flatten that off with the grinder and then re-drill it. But I'm trying to look for other options so that this is not such a pain in the ass, because I don't get paid until the 3rd, and I don't have any money to get a disc, so I'm just going to have to think of another way to do this. I have a hole here, but this hole is covered by the bumper bracket, so I really don't want to drill the bumper bracket and put one in there. But what I was thinking about doing was taking either the square, take this square tubing or this round tubing that come out of that wood lathe, that Craftsman wood lathe I had, or we got this C channel. Now I have 2 of those. We could take and weld a flat plate right here to the end of this, and just weld all the way around this and leave it hang out however far we need to put a bolt in it, and the same thing on this side, and then we can just kind of put it in, cockeyed, put it in place, and then bolt it to the frame. This one is my favorite option. So then I would do the same thing to the round stock, or we got the square stock, and I thought about grinding this off, because if you notice, this fits right in there, and I could weld that right there. So I'm wondering if that ain't my easier option, and just weld it to everything they've got there, rather than cutting all that stuff out. So this is probably going to be the option I go for. Now that'll work on the rear. Now the hitch supports the bottom part of the frame, so this frame's not going to flex on the bottom, so we just need to do the top, and then we can go over here where this support used to be, this one can bolt in. So it's a good possibility that we can just turn this piece just like that right there and just bolt it in. And I think that's all this frame really needs. I mean, this is 1/4 inch stuff right here, so I think that would be the best option for that. And the only problem with welding this in is where my truck is sitting, my welder's not going to reach. And I've got a like a 25-foot, let me turn you around here. I've got a 25-foot extension cord for my 220 welder, but it ain't going to reach. I could take it over in front of the shop, but the ground's so uneven, I don't want my frame to be twisted while I'm doing this. It actually should be on level to do this and to do it right. So because of that, that's why I didn't want to weld them in, because once you weld them in, the frame's going to stay twisted. Maybe. I'm not sure if it would give enough to let the truck relax in a straight position. I'd rather bolt them in. That way they have a little, some kind of flex, you know. Of course, that's what makes sense to me. But that's where we're at on the turning this into a dolly. Now we've got the dollies on it. We got plenty of clearance because this is the right rear. I had to replace the brake lines, and guys, don't make the same mistake I made, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is funny. Both your wheel cylinders are exactly the same, except for one thing. Your inlet for your, and that sign is in my way again, or in your way. On your wheel cylinders, you have it either facing forward or backwards. Well, dumbass me, if I can get you all down here to it, I'll try. If you notice here, I have mine pointed forward. Well, they're actually supposed to be facing rear. Well, by the time I realized it, I had already installed the brakes, the parking brake lever, everything. So I said, the hell with it. They're both the same as far as the hydraulic system is concerned, but this here was on the back side facing rear. Well, what I did, I just took, let me reposition you here, get you down here. So what I did was run down through here, around and over top, and I used the axle to bend it round, and then I ran it like it's normally supposed to go. Now I put that bend there in it because I had my sway bar going on it, so I didn't want it to be in the way of my sway bar, so I kind of anticipated that. Now I don't see me getting no paint on this thing. That's going to have to be a summer job because it's like 38 degrees today, and paint doesn't like cold. So I'm probably going to have to put the bed on it and just wait until summer, and hopefully I will have established a friendship with the guy who's helping me enough that I can talk him into coming back and helping me do that. So then, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put the bed on it after I get my supports in it and be done with it. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the truck. Now it's sitting pretty level right there. So we're going to work with that, and we're going to go ahead and put them supports in. The front one, we're just going to cut it down and drill it and bolt it in. The rear one, I've got another piece of this right here. I may just go with this on both of them and then just bolt it right here, because I can get a bolt right there, drill a hole and put a bolt. So this is probably what we're going to do, is put that right there and over there, and we're going to probably use this. I like this. It's heavier. This is only like about a 3/16 thick. This is 1/4 inch. This here is not going to give. But I don't see me needing any more than that. So we'll get started on that. It sure would be nice if they didn't have that junk in underneath there, welded in there, because that's where I want to put it. And I decided on this piece. Yes, it's smaller than these other pieces, but it's pretty thick, so it should work pretty good. The only other location that I can see that would be feasible to do this is right where I have that. That way I can get it straight across. Right here, I thought about putting it beside right beside this, because there's enough room for me to set that in there just like that right there, and then drill a hole and bolt it in. Well, the problem is, as you can see, this comes to about right there at the edge of that, just a little over the bend there. But on the other side, they changed and didn't get it. See, it goes further than the bend because they didn't put this in the right location. This one's forward more than that one is. So I would say that this would be the better place, and I've got enough room to put a bolt hole through here and bolt this up in there. So I'm going to use this for the rear one, and possibly well, not possibly, I don't know what I'm going to do here yet. I really don't want to put it where that bend is because I don't have that much room for a bolt. I do have room for a bolt, but it's going to be so close to the edge of this, and I don't want it that close to the edge. I'd like to come back and do the center of the frame right here. And that needs to come out of there, but man, they really welded the shit out of that. Terrible welds too, but they thickened it. I don't think I can get that out of there. They tried to cut it out of there and they got almost to it until they got to that back piece. So I really hope them guys are watching my videos because I'm very mad at them. You know, that's just dumb, stupid, idiotic. I can't even think of enough words to call it. To take your frickin' frame supports out. I'm sorry guys, man, I'm pissed at these people for that. You know, all that did was cause the next person more work than necessary. So I guess you're getting a little bit of bitching out of me too. So we're gonna try putting it here. Too bad I have the bed bolts that goes here, or I'd put it there. I really want it right here, right at the edge of this where it starts flattening out over to here. So I need half of that out of there anyway, but it all needs to come out of there. And I don't have a grinding disc or a cutoff disc from a grinder. So we're going to take these in and go ahead and cut the C channel first. I'm not going to cut this yet. I'm going to go look and see if I have another piece of C channel that I can use. Alright guys, we just drilled this, and we're just going to drill 2 holes right now. And once we got it mounted with these 2, then we're going to go catty corner and drill 2 more, and then have to go through the frame. What I had to do, the platform that's under the bed is 2 inches wide, so I had to make sure I left enough room that my bed wouldn't rest on the head of my bolt. So I'm going to use these 2 existing holes right here, and we're going to mount this in, and then we're going to come over here and drill 2 more holes. Dealing with a slip disc in my back, so getting around's a little tricky for me today. It's been that way for the last couple of days. Alright, so sorry about the I'm using my new camera. It's a Extreme 2 UHD 4K Campark camera, and I'll put a link to that in the description. But anyway, I had to switch cameras because my battery went dead on the other one. But anyway, I don't know how far it got on the drilling, but all I did was just drill these holes and tapped them. So now we've got 4 holes in here, and I'm going to have to put washers on this because this is, once I get this up, it's going to be permanently put up. So let me go get 4 washers. Here's what we've got. I made these for corner braces, and they will mount in there just like that, right there on that. in the same hole right there. So we're testing it and drilling, and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, this is the piece that we're going to use for the rear. Let me move some of this stuff out of my way. So basically, this is just real thick, heavy square tubing. It's 1.5 inches, and it's going to work just fine for the simple reason that we've got a steel hitch here that's holding the bottom. So all we need to do is just keep the top from flexing. And I ain't none too sure it's necessary, but I'm going to put it in there anyway. So I've already drilled my holes, and I've decided to put it right here in that area, and that way I'm far enough away from my bed mount that it's not going to be in the way. Alright, now let's just take a look at it. So we've got this brace across here, which is 1.5 inches, and I think the thickness of it is like 3/16, something like that. And it may be 1/4, I'm not sure. And then we've got that in. Got that one in. And I don't see this truck needing any more support. That should conclude this portion. I mean, got one more thing to do, and that's put the sway bar on it, and I'm getting ready to do that, and I don't need to video that. I just wanted to show how I did them supports to hold that frame together. And I don't see where anything heavier needs to go in there, because actually what I've got in there is heavier than what they've got in there. So that's how I'm going to do it. And I've been doing this job with a slipped disc in my back, and I ain't none too happy about it. but you got to do what you got to do. I got to get my truck back together. So the next thing we got to do, I'll put the sway bar on it, and then all the underneath will be completely done. Then the next thing is the bed, and that's going on tomorrow. Well, that bed. So actually, I got to take some stuff off of that bed. So it's got an aluminum tread aluminum mud flap that was on one side, and there wasn't one on the other side. So I'm going to take that one off and just use the tread aluminum for something else. So no painting. I'm not going to get any painting done. It's just too much painting in work right now for as cold as it is, and I'm not going to be painting in the cold. Yeah, it got up to 50 degrees, but by the time the paint dries, or gets to the point where it's going to dry, it's going to start getting cold on it. So I'd just rather wait until summertime, pull the bed off, and spend a little time. By then, who knows, maybe I'll have a car. So that will conclude this portion of how to make your truck a dually. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. You guys have a good one. Later.